What if Superman wasn't sent to save us, but to conquer us? And what if his father's message wasn't hope, but a command to rebuild Krypton in the most shocking way possible? Superman is the ultimate symbol of truth and justice, the blueprint for every superhero that came after. But what if everything you thought you knew about his purpose on Earth was wrong? Drop your first impressions in the comments. Does this new take excite you, or does it feel like a step too far?
Are you being serious right now?
Yeah.
You'd let me interview you as Superman.
Let's talk about the Superman origin story, the one everyone has memorized since childhood. Krypton's dying, Jor-El and Lara make a heartbreaking choice, and baby Kal-El rockets to Earth. He's raised by the Kents in Smallville, learns about kindness and sacrifice, and grows up to become the world's greatest hero. That image is so locked into our brains that it's basically superhero DNA at this point. It's the foundation for everything that's come after, and honestly, it's been retold so many times that even die-hard fans have started to feel the fatigue. You know the drill. Krypton explodes, the Kents find a baby in a field, and we get a montage of growing pains and first flights. It's classic, but let's be real, most of us are ready for something new.
Miss Lane.
Recently, you've come under a lot of fire for what some might... It's a lot.
That's exactly where James Gunn's Superman shakes things up. Instead of dragging us through every familiar beat, the film starts 3 years after Superman has already made his presence known to the world. No endless scenes of Clark discovering his powers in a Kansas cornfield. Instead, the movie uses a quick montage to nod at the classic moments, just enough to ground us, before flipping the script and focusing on what really matters, how Superman fits into a world that's already complicated, messy, and full of opinions about him.
My actions? I stopped a war.
Maybe.
Not maybe. I did.
In effect, you illegally entered a country.
This isn't the same old introduction. It's a deliberate move to skip the nostalgia and go straight to the heart of what makes Superman relevant today. By starting the story with Superman as an established figure, Gunn gives us a version of Clark Kent who's already past the "who am I" stage. He's not just figuring himself out, he's dealing with a world that's suspicious, divided, and not always thrilled to have a superpowered alien in its midst. The public is wary, governments are nervous, the media spins every move he makes. It's not just about saving cats from trees, it's about navigating global politics, skepticism, and a society that isn't sure it wants a savior at all. This shift lets the film dig into the real challenges Superman would face in today's world. Public distrust, political tension, and the pressure of living up to an impossible standard. And here's the thing, skipping the usual origin routine isn't just a gimmick. It actually opens up space for the story to explore who Superman is when he's not defined by his beginnings. We get to see him as someone who's already made mistakes, already tried to win people over, and is still searching for his place. The Kent's influence is still there, but now Clark has to decide for himself what kind of hero he wants to be, especially when the world pushes back. This approach brings out more vulnerability, more self-doubt, and way more interesting questions. What does Superman do when people don't trust him? How does he respond when his very existence sparks fear and division? Those are the kinds of challenges that make this version of Superman feel fresh and real. But Gunn doesn't just stop at changing the timeline. The film teases something much bigger lurking beneath the surface, a secret about Krypton and Jor-El that threatens to upend everything Clark thought he knew. While the movie gives us just enough of the classic origin to feel familiar, it quickly starts dropping hints that there's more to the story.
Your choices.
Jor-El, long seen as the wise, loving father who sent his son to be a beacon of hope, might not have been as selfless as we always believed. There's a darker, more complicated message waiting for Clark, one that challenges the very idea of what it means to be Superman. This is where things get interesting. By reframing Superman's origin and skipping the comfort of a clear, hopeful mission, the film forces Clark to confront the possibility that his purpose on Earth isn't as pure as he once thought. The old narrative, Superman as humanity's savior, gets pushed aside for something messier and more honest. Now he's left to question whether he was ever meant to save us at all, or if he's just another outsider with his own agenda. That kind of uncertainty is exactly what makes this new take so compelling. And as the story builds, those hints about Jor-El's true intentions start to take center stage. The film sets up a mystery that's about to blow the lid off everything we thought we knew about Superman's mission. The classic image of the last son of Krypton sent to inspire hope, that's about to get challenged in a way that changes not just Clark's journey, but the entire meaning of what it means to be Superman. Here's where things get wild. Jor-El's secret message isn't a pep talk about hope or peace. When the restored half of the hologram plays, it drops a command that's way darker than anything Superman ever expected. Jor-El tells Kal-El to repopulate Earth with Kryptonian offspring, basically to gather brides and start a new Krypton empire right here. The whole thing is less be their hero and more rule them, remake them, seed a new world in Krypton's image. It's not just about conquest, it's about turning Earth into a Kryptonian colony, with Kal-El at the center of a plan to dominate and reshape humanity.
He's not a man. He's an it. He's somehow become the focal point of the entire world's conversation.
You can see the shock hit Clark like a freight train. His whole life, he's believed he was sent to be a symbol of hope, to protect people, to live up to the ideals his father set. But now he's staring down the possibility that he was meant to be the architect of a Kryptonian takeover. The classic image of Jor-El as a wise, selfless scientist, that crumbles in an instant. Suddenly, Clark's origin isn't about sacrifice, it's about dominion. The emotional impact is huge. He's left questioning everything. Was he ever supposed to help anyone at all, or was he always just a tool in someone else's plan? That identity crisis hits hard, and you feel it in every scene that follows. The movie doesn't just spring this twist out of nowhere. If you watch closely, the signs are there from the start. When Jor-El's hologram glitches, his tone isn't warm or hopeful. Instead, he talks about Krypton as a civilization that valued land. But it goes further. He describes Earth as a lesser evolved, fertile planet, ripe for domination. It's subtle, but it sets the stage for the reveal that Krypton's greatness was always tied to expansion and control. Those word choices aren't just flavor, they're a warning. Even before the message is fully revealed, there's this uneasy feeling that Krypton's legacy isn't as golden as we thought. And just to make sure nobody can brush this off as a trick, Mr. Terrific steps in with the tech. He runs a full analysis on the hologram and confirms it's legit. No tampering, no outside interference. This isn't Lex Luthor faking a message or some villain pulling strings. The order to conquer and repopulate is straight from Jor-El himself. That confirmation lands like a punch because it means Clark can't just blame it on someone else. He has to face the truth about where he came from. But here's where it gets interesting. Instead of letting this revelation break him, Clark pushes back. He doesn't just accept the destiny Jor-El set out for him, he rejects it completely. The pain of realizing his father's plan was never about hope actually makes his own choices stand out even more. Clark decides that being Superman isn't about following orders from Krypton or living up to a legacy built on conquest. It's about choosing to protect Earth, not because he has to, but because he wants to. That's what gives his actions real weight. The heroism comes from the decision to carve out his own path, even when it means going against everything he thought he knew. The emotional fallout is everywhere. Clark's faith in his origin is shaken, but it doesn't weaken him. If anything, it makes him more human.
I will not accept that.
I cleaned your boots. I'll go get them for you.
He's not just the last son of Krypton, he's someone who chooses to belong to Earth, to its people, and to the ideals he's seen in them. Every time he stands up for humanity, it's a conscious act, not a programmed response. That makes his connection to Lois, his friends, and even his critics feel more real. You see him wrestling with doubt, facing suspicion from the world, and still choosing to do the right thing. It's not fate, it's a choice, and that's what makes him a hero. And this twist doesn't just shake up Clark's world, it sends ripples through the entire DC universe. If Superman's real mission was to conquer, What does that mean for how others see him? Will his friends and allies start to question his loyalty? Could there be other Kryptonians out there with the same orders, waiting to finish what Jor-El started? The door is wide open for bigger questions, new conflicts, and a totally different kind of Superman story. But at the end of the day, it all comes down to one thing: the power to choose. That's what sets this Superman apart, and it's what makes his journey more compelling than ever. In the end, Superman's biggest conflict isn't about fighting villains or saving the world. It's about choosing Earth and its people over the destiny his Kryptonian father set for him. That Kansas upbringing clashes with Jor-El's vision, forcing Clark to decide if he'll stand with humanity or become what he was programmed to be. The twist in Gunn's Superman makes us rethink the entire origin story and see just how much the hero's real power comes from his choices, not his alien abilities. So, does this new direction make Superman more relatable, or does it stray too far from what you love about him? Hit like if you believe heroism is a choice, and subscribe for more deep dives like this.